Well, I think at the moment, Europe looks at Asia with some trepidation because it's preoccupied with its own troubles, particularly over the Eurozone and the debt crises in countries like Greece and Portugal and Ireland, and is feeling rather sort of introspective about can, after the financial crisis, Europe get its act together. It looks across the world at Asia, this self-confident region where everyone's bursting with optimism, I think with a little bit of trepidation, although I think one can't generalize too much. If you look at Germany's economic performance, for example, it's very strong, and it's strong because Germany is taking advantage of Asian export markets. So there is a sense that there's an opportunity in Asia's rise in Europe, but there's also this sense of, look, we've got some serious problems and we need to sort them out. I think oddly enough, in some ways, Europeans are more relaxed about China's rise than some Americans, because although they have some worries about the trade imbalance, Europe's trade imbalance with China, they don't have, if you like, the security worries that the United States have. The United States is a Pacific as well as an Atlantic power and is obviously very concerned about the balance of relationships in East Asia, so worries about that dimension. Europe tends to look at China much more in terms of economic and trade terms. It sees opportunities, it has some arguments with China over things like intellectual property and about market access. But generally speaking, it feels, I think, quite comfortable with China's rise. One other thing, though, the human rights issue is always going to be there in the European-China relationship. Europe could have a big future as a geopolitical actor. It's, if you like, I think the world's largest economy, if you put all 27 countries together. It has the same sets of values, the same set of instincts. So the potential is there. The trouble is, when it comes to framing common policies, particularly a common foreign policy, Europeans never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity, is the sad phrase. And it now has, though, after the Lisbon Treaty, at least the institutional framework to put together a common approach to the world, a common approach to China, to India, to Russia, these rising or great powers. Whether it does so, I think, will depend critically on whether it manages in the next year to sort out its own financial and economic problems, and therefore looks forward with a sort of optimism which will pull it together in terms of the way it treats with the rest of the world.